Good morning, guys. Welcome to my channel. This is Tarot Talks, and this is the second part of the eights of the major arcana. I apologize, I broke my stand, so I may get a little wiggly here, but I'm just going to jump right in. And so this is the Eight of Swords. This is the Lord of Shortened Force. It's Jupiter in Gemini. Now, the exoteric meaning basically is just being trapped and not being able to see yourself out of a situation. But the lesson in this card is anytime the blindfold shows up in the tarot, they're talking about the need to do some inner work and inner changes. And when you feel trapped, a lot of times you wonder, is my life going to be like this forever? When is it going to change? And that really breeds the mentality that you're waiting for something outside of yourself to change your situation, when really, if you take on the mentality of, no, it's not going to stay like this forever, because I'm going to do everything in my power to change this situation, even though I feel hopeless right now and I have no way to see myself out of it, I'm going to make sure I do that work and make that change. Now, Jupiter always expands and brings good luck to whatever sign that it's in, so you need to remember that. And it also governs the Wheel of Fortune, which is, in Wicca, it's the wheel of the year, it's the zodiac, it's the spinning of time. So you have to realize that this is a period, and periods are short and they do not last. Even though they seem long in the grand scheme of things, cycles do change. So there is the opportunity to look inside yourself. Whenever, you have to remember, whenever you feel helpless and you physically cannot do anything to change your situation, that is your challenge to go within and change things within yourself. Whether it is the way that you view the situation, whether you have just a negative attitude about everything, just changing the way you feel about things. Keep reassuring yourself, being your own rider, being your own ride or die bitch. Let me tell you, I cannot explain how much your life will change when you change your mind and the way that you think. This card is very much about the power of your mind. The world is molded to your mindset and the way that you think. So once you change that, the world around you will change. And at this very point in time, you're not going to be able to understand how the fuck that's going to happen, or what it's going to do and what type of changes it's going to make in your life. But if you study mental alchemy, alchemy is not fake. It's not a story from the Renaissance times. It's not mixing it. You can get into parts where you do like plant alchemy and you make potions, and healers are alchemists. People who make like ointments and things out of fresh herbs and things like that. That is a form of alchemy. But there's a form of alchemy called mental alchemy. And I've been doing this for a year. And when I tell you, over this year, my life has completely turned around. And it was absolutely for the better. So I promise you, if you do that internal work, your world will change around you. Okay? So I'm working one-handed here, so just bear with me. All right? So we have the Eight of Wands. This is the Lord of Swiftness. Oh, wait, you know what? Let me just go back. I'm not sure if I said what the deacons are for the last card. This is the first deacon of Gemini, which is an air sign. So these are all air signs, the swords. So first deacon of Gemini, May 21st to the 31st, okay? I don't want to leave that out. If you don't know what deacons are, you got to go back and watch my first video. I gave you like a little diagram and everything. It's really important when you're learning astrology to know what the deacons are. You don't have to remember them, but you just kind of have to have a good idea of where to look for them. They relate to the degrees in your birth chart. Like if you're 10 degrees Sagittarius, 22 degrees Sagittarius, it makes a difference. All right, so the next one is Eight of Wands, first deacon of Sagittarius, November 23rd to December 2nd, Lord of Swiftness. And this is Mercury in Sagittarius. The exoteric meaning is movement and change with swift results. But the esoteric meaning, you have to look at what the energies are with the planetary influences and the zodiac influences. So Mercury and Sagittarius, there's a lot of mental, even though this is a Wands card, there's a lot of mental shit going on because Sagittarius is the philosopher of the zodiac. They're about higher education, learning. Again, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So this is expansion of the mind, expansion of the self, expansion of the being. And when you expand yourself, your viewpoint and your consciousness is going to change and the world will change around you. So this is the mental energy card. It also does denote swift changes, but it also, I think the changes that they're talking about is the change in the consciousness and the change in the way that you view things. And it's also about learning. So it could denote that you're about to learn something that's going to change your whole perception of life. But also you can also look at it as Mercury the messenger, and you also may receive a message that is going to be, you might receive a phone call, that you are up for consideration for a position or a promotion, things like that. So those are things to think about when you know the planetary and the zodiac and the sign influences of these cards. The meanings completely change and there's a deeper meaning. So they all have exoteric and esoteric meanings. So that's the completion of the eights. And also I think one thing that I left out was this is Lord of shortened force. Her force is shortened because she is expecting something from the outside world to change her circumstances. If she just backs up against that sword behind her and, rubs herself against it, she can take her binding off, and then she could take her blindfold off, and then she could see that there's very much an opening. She's not blocked in. She has an opening where she can walk out. So she's standing on water. That also has the imagery of these cards are very important. So it's talking about emotions. So you feel trapped, but you have to change your mind so you can understand that you're strong and that you can overcome things. And then anytime you're stepping over water, you're stepping over some type of barrier, and then your consciousness changes. So imagery, planetary influences, all of that, it all matters. So I hope you learned something. Like, comment, share, talk to me, thoughts. We're going to complete the nines, and that would be the series completion of the minor arcana. So I'll have the nines coming to you within the next couple days. I appreciate you viewing, and you have a great day.